Assalamu alaikum, how's it going? So we're going to play the beginning of the Persona 5 Royal collab in Heaven Burns Red. So the thing is, Heaven Burns Red announced a collab with Persona 5 on February 2026 during the fourth anniversary stream of the game, and they said it would be sometime in May, and then in May finally they did an additional live stream to reveal all the details on the playable characters, etc. So now the collab started in late May and it's still ongoing until June 19th. So I gotta play it. I'm gonna try to translate it in English and play through all of it. So this collab is probably going to happen in the English Star version of the game at some point. I assume maybe in early or mid 2027 or something. Like I don't know, it's just a guess. But yeah, in the meanwhile, I wanna try and play the collab in the Japanese version and translate and summarize the story as I'll play. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit rough since I'll discover the story myself because I didn't. It's going to be my first playthrough at the same time. So as always, so before we start, I'm going to do some quick self-PR to talk about my sites, Fumetal Fukumi, and how I'm covering otaku culture, talking about games, anime, manga, most notably very niche stuff. And I'm trying to do some summaries of the Heaven Burns Red live streams. Every 2 weeks, they do a Japanese live stream to reveal the new banners, to talk about the updates, to talk about the new events, the next story updates, etc. So yeah, and I also translate interviews, live streams for games. I write stuff about the Japanese games media and English games media, and I'm writing about old anime. I'm writing about basically anything that I deem important. And yeah, so you've got the site here. If I did a table of contents with all the articles I've been doing, and then you've got Ko-fi as well with some exclusive articles. So yeah, you can most probably support the site via Ko-fi to read some exclusive articles, some exclusive translations, etc. Most probably for Super Wars, I try to do summaries of the official Super Wars streams whenever they do one that focus primarily on console games. I don't maybe I cover the DD ones, the mobile games one, but like not as much. And for when it comes to the console Super Wars announcements, like the new DLC for Super Wars Y, I always do a proper live stream summary. So yeah, and I gotta thank the people who've been supporting me as well, so I can keep doing this kind of articles and this kind of stuff. So yeah, and next I wanted to quickly introduce Heaven Burns Red as well for those unfamiliar with the game. So Heaven Burns Red, it was released like in February 2022 in Japan. This is a new game by VisualArt's Key. So this is a studio who's known for Angel Beats, who's known for Canon, who's known for Clanad, who's known for Little Bursters. Lately, they're doing a little bit smaller games like Loopers, which had Ryukishi on it as well. And recently, they just released a new game this year, just a few months ago, called Animoy. I haven't played it yet. I don't know if it's good or not. And yeah, they still do PC games, but like Heaven Burns Red nowadays is their main breadwinning game, right? So yeah, and the game is made by Key and VisualArts, and it's also made by um, uh, it's also made by Right Flyer Studios. Right Flyer Studios, who is most probably known for Another Eden, which is another similar RPG, gacha RPG as Heaven Burns Red. And the peculiarity, the biggest appeal about Another Eden is how it's written by, I think it was Kato Masato, I forgot his name, who was also the main scenarist of Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger, Baten Kaitos, etc. These kind of Square Enix games that are very similar to each other. So he's the main scenarist on Another Eden, and Another Eden also had a Chrono Cross collab as well. So yeah, and Heaven Burns Red is basically a very big mix of fantasy and sci-fi, and it's like it's very similar to a lot of soshage being released these past 15 years in how it's in a post-apocalyptic world, and you've got some aliens who attack the Earth, and there's only girls who can wield special weapons who can fight against the aliens. And this initial story pitch is very similar to all soshage nowadays, but it quickly evolves into something very interesting and very unique and very cool, and it's extremely different from a lot of soshage, most especially with how you actually have a main protagonist in Heaven Burns Red called Ruka, Kayamori Ruka, and most of the main story is told through her own point of view, and you play as her, and she's not mute, she's not a mute protagonist, she has her own personality, but you can also make some various choices to change the story a little bit. So for example, if you look at the CGs of the first chapter, the first main story chapter, like there's some CGs are never unlocked because there's some specific choice you need to make to unlock them, and I never replayed the first chapter. So yeah, and the main story, mainly focuses on the San Ichie squad, the 31A squad, which are the 6 characters, with Uruka as the main protagonist, and then you have Karen and Yuki and Tsukasa and Megumi and Tama. So, and they're fighting this aliens called the Cancer. So yeah, it's at the beginning of the game, it's very similar to a lot of many other soshage, but it quickly develops into something very interesting, which is a big mix of tragedy and comedy. There's a lot of extremely funny scenes, and then there's also some quite tragic moments with some actual characters dying. So yeah, and I was saying Heaven Bends Red is extremely similar to a lot of anime I really love, which mix tragedy and comedy. Most probably, obviously, if you look at the past works of Key and Maeda Jun and VisualArt, you have Angel Beats. But personally, two of my favorite series of all time, most of my favorite series of all time are very similar to that, mixing comedy and tragedy. And most probably, I can't recommend enough Slayers, which you should read the novel if you can. It's officially in English nowadays. You should watch the anime, all the OVAs, all the movies, etc. It's one of my favorite series of all time. It's extremely well written, especially when it comes to the novel with Lena's thoughts and Lena's psychological warfare. It's extremely incredible. In my opinion, the best fantasy novel of all time. And yeah, Slayers, if you never watched it, you should definitely watch everything. And it's also, Heaven Burns Red is also very similar to Full Metal Panic. It's the same thing as well, a mix of comedy and tragedy. And Full Metal Panic is even more unique in how it mixes giant robot stuff. So it's also one of my favorite series of all time, which I'm talking about all the time. And recently, there's a brand new sequel as well, Full Metal Panic's family. Um, there's a novel, and I've been reading the manga adaptation, and I've been reading the novel a little bit, but I'm not caught up, so I need to keep reading it. It's also Heaven Bends is also very similar to another anime I really like, Plagiarism, the Plagiarism series. This is also a mix of sports and shoujo and comedy and tragedy, and yeah, so I really like Plagiarism as well, and I've been writing a bit about it a lot. Like I often say, ever since the first Plagiarism season aired in 2011, I don't think there's a better anime that aired since then. Like, it's at the same level as all the classics of the 80s, like Lady Oscar or Ranma or City Hunter or Fullmetal Panic, like it's the early 2000s classic like Fullmetal Panic, or the 90s classic like Slayer, etc. Or like Saint Seiya, Captain Tsubasa, etc. Like, I don't think, if you like, I watched a lot of anime. I don't watch that much anime since 2016, but like, I did watch a lot of things, and I think like there's nothing that got close to Plagiarism, especially with the new King of Prison sequels. Since the new King of Prison sequels started, like, I don't think there's a anime that got better than this. But yeah, and so I really like Heaven Burns Red in how it talks about characters dying, most probably as well. And when it comes to fiction nowadays, I think like there's a lot of bad discussions nowadays regarding fiction, and I found a very good tweet about it, so I wanted to show this tweet as well. A lot of people nowadays, they judge people but what they watch, but what they play, and they're like, if you watch this, then you're that. If you like this problematic thing, that it means that you condone it in real life, etc. These are all incredibly stupid like discourses and discussions, and it's kind of sad. I really like this tweet in how no one ever discusses social media instead, Twitter, Blue Sky, and social media in general, and how it really rotten people brains, and how let alone talking about all the bigoted stuff and all the racism. Like when it comes to just, if you look at anime discussion, social media and Twitter has been a huge negative in how it promotes completely stupid discourses and completely endless stupid discourses that are getting loops and going back and back and back over and over and again. So yeah, and obviously, like, how to say this? A lot of anime, when you think about it, is very white-minded. It's extremely white-minded, extremely USA-centered. Obviously, it doesn't prevent me from enjoying anime in general, but Heaven Bends Red is one of the sole games talking about people dying and stuff, where I feel like, how to say this, like, I feel like the writers, they actually think about death and the issues in the real world. Obviously, like, the reason why I talk about this previous tweet is because obviously I don't really judge anime or game stories based on their, like, whether they agree with my morals or not, because I'm a Muslim in the first place. There's a lot of things in anime that I don't really actually agree with, but like I can enjoy it from what it is, right? And so yeah, obviously, this doesn't prevents me from watching anime in general, but a lot of anime and a lot of fiction in general is very like white-minded thinking. And Heaven Bends Red is one of the sole games where I feel like the writers actually give some real thoughts on the world, on some real thoughts on suffering of the world, etc. And this is also one of the reasons why I can't enjoy anime and stories in general that are only sad things, like, or like it's trying super hard to make you feel sad. One of the best examples is Violet Evergarden. I really hate this series because like it's trying so hard to make you feel bad, and it's like extremely for white people. Like I don't have another way to explain it, and like I really can't stand this kind of series. But Heaven Bends Red doesn't delve into that, and so yeah, and it's one of the best things about the game, in my opinion, how it's talking about death, how it's talking about sad things, etc., how it tackles these themes. It's one of the best games to ever do it, in my opinion, especially when it comes to anime games like this. So, and even if like, obviously as a Muslim, there's some things I don't really agree with in the game, like how they believe in reincarnation and stuff, like this kind of stuff. Like it's still extremely relatable and it's still extremely interesting. And this kind of relatable feeling is really rare that I feel this relatable towards a game or anime, even when it comes to anime I like. And so yeah, and anyway, so yeah, this collab was written by the Persona 5 collab in Heaven Bends Red was written by the Heaven Bends Red team with supervision by Atlas. This is something they already explained in the live streams. So yeah, the Heaven Bends Red already did some collabs in the past, most probably with Angel Beats. There was an Angel Beats collab. There was 3 Angel Beats collabs that each added several characters. At first you had Yuripe and Kanade and Miyuki, and then they added Hisako, and then they added Shiori, Yui, and Iwasawa. So you have all these Angel Beats characters as well in Heaven Bends Red. And now with the Persona 5 collabs, they added Morgana and Makoto and Kasumi as playable characters as well. So I'm wondering, maybe one day, because they did several Angel Beats collab, maybe one day they will do another Persona 5 collab to add more characters, like Anne and Futaba and Haru. Maybe they will add more playable characters, I don't know. So yeah, and in the English version they did the first 2 collabs, but they haven't done the 3rd collab yet that added Yui and oh, it skips Yui and Iwasawa. And so yeah, and the other cool thing about Heaven Burns Red is the character design. The character design by Yugen. Yugen was one of the character designers on the Atelier series, most notably. He was one of the character designers on the Atelier series, on the Sophie games, on Atelier Sophie and Atelier Phyllis and Atelier, I forgot what the third one was. Together with Noko, they did the characters, right? And Yugen was the character designer of Plafta in the Sophie series. And he was also I really like Plafta, so ever since, I think it's with Plafta, with Atelier Sophie that I discovered Yugen. And he also did the character design for Error Game Reset, which was a interesting soshage by Sega. Sadly, it closed down. Like a lot of soshage, it closed down pretty fast and it didn't work out at all. But this was, I think the original pitch was by Yoko Taro, and all the designs were by Yugen, and it was all representations of various Sega games. So it was a very interesting game, and it was mixing shmup elements, shoot 'em up elements with gacha, but sadly it didn't work out, and there was a lot of issues with the game loop, the gameplay loop, etc. But it was a very interesting game, and I'm still very sad that hopefully, I'm still hoping that one day Sega does some offline versions, remakes of their soshage, just like how Square Enix is doing nowadays with Octopath Traveler 0, with WRIGHT Studio is doing Another Eden Beginnings, a console version of Another Eden. Square Enix is also doing Final Fantasy Resonance, that was announced this June 2026, which is a remake of Brave Exvius, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which was a soshage as well, a gacha game. So yeah, Yugen, really good character designer. And he also did some designs on Magia Record, but I don't have them on hand. And so Yugen also did all the original character designs in Heaven Burns Red, but he's not the one who did all the illustrations. So for example, if you look at Erika, for example, there's a few illustrations in the game that were directly drawn by Yugen, just like Maid Erika, for example. This was directly drawn by Yugen, but some of the other illustrations, like if you look at this illustration, it's just the Heaven Burns Red stuff. And sadly, Heaven Burns Red is one of the few soshage where they actually credit everyone, except for the artists. They just say it's the WRIGHT Studio artist team that drew the key visual. They don't specifically say credit to, except if it's Yugen himself who actually drew the art. Like here, they say it's Yugen, but for the other art, it's just people on the Heaven Burns Red staff team, but they don't specify who it is specifically, sadly. So yeah, and Yugen also did a special illustration for the Persona 5 collab. If we go to the collab menu here, Yugen did a special illustrations with the characters important in the collab. So Joker is not playable but appears, and you have Tsukasa, who is an informant, and you have Makoto, you have the protagonist Ruka, you have Kasumi, Violet, you have Aileen here, who is a detective, and you have Morgana. So these are the characters who will be important in the story, but there will also be other characters who will appear, I think. And so yeah, and I think the last thing I want to talk about is how, yeah, there was a 3 Heaven Burns Red collabs, and there were 3 Angel Beats collabs, sorry, but Heaven Burns Red also did a collab with Powerful Pro Yakkyu, Jikkyo Powerful Pro Yakkyu, which is a baseball simulation series by Konami. This was back in late 2025, so this was a really good collab. It was written by the Heaven Burns Red staff as well, with supervision by Konami. And this was extremely interesting. So I'm hoping that the Persona 5 collab will be just as good. So yeah, I think that's all for the introduction. It was a pretty long introduction, almost 20 minutes. So yeah, we can start playing now, I think. Hajime kara. Oh yeah, and also one last thing is how this is the first collab where they actually did difficulty levels. So usually the collabs, they are all extremely easy because they are geared toward new players, right? The main appeal of a collab in a gacha game is to bring in new players so they will stick in and keep playing the game, right? So this is the first time they actually do difficulty levels. So we're going to go with the highest difficulty because I'm a veteran player. I've been playing Heaven's Red since the Steam release in summer 2023. 2022, sorry. So yeah, so we'll go with the highest difficulty, and even so, I think this will probably be a little bit too easy for me because my Steam is very strong, and I've been, like, even if I'm not up to date with the main story in Heaven's Red, I'm still properly doing my dailies and actually raising my characters, etc. So my characters are pretty strong. So yeah, I think that's everything. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm done introducing everything, so we're actually going to play the prologue and the first day of the Collab story now. One more short time, Operation Takanawa Mementos, Wake Your Heart. So yeah, difficulty, highest difficulty, okay. It's saying that some characters will be fixed, you won't be able to use your own characters in certain scenes, in certain moments of the collab. So I'm gonna try to translate as best as I can and summarize. Oh, is that the Velvet Room? Oh, so this is something that Heaven's Red does a lot with its collabs, in how it always starts with Ruka waking up somewhere, and they don't really bother explaining how did she end up here, like the collab just starts this way, except for the Purple collab, which actually started differently, but the Angel Beats collab like just had Luca awakening in the Angel Beats world. So this time it looks like she's awakened in a Heaven's Red version of the Persona 5 Velvet Room. Also, cool thing about the collab is how they bothered doing all the sounds, the UI, they bothered doing it just like in Persona 5, right? So this is a pretty cool thing as well. Really cool thing. So, Tama is playing the role of Igor, apparently. And you've got these two, they're sisters, they're assassin sisters, and they're part of the squad who fights aliens. Seems like they're playing the role of Caroline and Justine.
Otama room?
Otamaru.
さよう。ここは夢と妄想、偏見と欲望の狭間にある場所。
This is pretty funny because Tama is voiced by Koga Aoi. Her most popular role, her most mainstream role is Paimon in Genshin, but she also did tons of different roles. She personally, her role I personally like is Robelia in Dead or Alive Venus Vacation, which is one of the gacha only characters they made. Like, she's one of the few characters I like in the game because most of them are extremely boring, and she's actually extremely boring as well, but I still like her. She also voiced like I don't have other examples in mind, but yeah, she's Paimon in Genshin, but she can do tons of different voices, and like she's imitating Igor right now. It's pretty funny.
何この青すぎる部屋。ここどこ？独房じゃん。私何かした？
Where I am, like, why did you put me in jail? Did I do something wrong?
茅森ルカさん、どうやらあなたは再びコラボのるつぼへと巻き込まれたようですね。
I saw something pretty funny with Heaven's Red collabs. It's how they don't bother with the fourth wall and they just say, hey, this is a collab. She's telling her, Rika, so seems like you got entwined in some collab event.
なんだコラボか。手折りに入れられるコラボなんてあるの？
So yeah, so Rika is, oh, it's just a collab. Oh, I mean, we lived. But wait, how, like, what kind of collab gets you in jail like this?
ルカさんに新たな最悪が訪れる兆しが見えます。
I can predict that there's going to be some kind of disaster upon you soon.
ですが安心してください。 私がルカさんの力になってみせましょう。
But you'll be fine because I'm gonna help you out.
なんかこのおたまさんも変だし、スモモとイチゴも何も喋らないし。
This version of Tama is kinda weird, and Sumomo, Ichigo, the sisters, they're not saying anything either.
どうやら時間のようですね。
So it's time.
それではルカさん、また近いうちにお会いしましょう。
We will meet again soon. So it's very funny. just like at the beginning of Persona 4, Persona 5, when you meet Igor for the first time. Operation Takanawa Mementos. So yeah, from this live stream, they said that the Persona characters end up in the Heavenbender world and they need to find a way to go back into their own world. But apparently Ruka can go into the Velvet Room, her own version of the Velvet Room, which is very funny as well. So this was the prologue. So now we're going to play day 1. I'm not sure yet how I will divide the videos, by the way. Should I do one video for each day? Because I don't know the length of each day yet, so maybe I'm gonna do 2 days in one video, I'm not sure. Oh, so we're in Mementos apparently.
早森さん、急にぼーっとして大丈夫ですか?
Oh, you spaced out for a second. Are you doing okay? And the BGM is Persona 5 as well. They put in a lot of BGMs from the actual games. It's pretty cool as well.
いや、なんか変なおたまさんからコラボがどうとかって言われてさ。
I just saw a weird version of Tama talking about a collab or something. So it looks like we're on a mission with Tsukasa Informant, which is part of Rika's squad. Rika is the commander of the squad, by the way. She's extremely stupid, but she can actually do stuff when she gets serious. So she's the commander of the squad. And Tsukasa is extremely stupid as well, but she has a secret that actually makes her extremely intelligent. I can't say much to spoil without spoilers, and this will probably come up in the collab anyway. And Irene is a detective. She's also extremely stupid, but she's actually competent when she tries. So she's a very staple of most Heaven-Minded characters. They're all extremely dumb, but they can do stuff when they get serious, basically.
そのセリフ一つにいろいろと聞きたいことが多すぎるんですが。
Like, I don't even know where to start, like what to answer, what you just said, regarding what you just said.
別世界から来訪者が来るってことよ。
Oh, so it means that some visitors from another worlds are here. So yeah, like this is, you can tell by her expression, this is Tsukasa when she is awakened. Kakusei Tsukasachi. When she's awakened, she's actually smart. But most of the time she's dumb. But she can do something to basically go back to how she actually is smart. But like I can't explain why because it's spoilers. But here she's like in a serious awakened version, and she's like when she's like this, she's like one of the smartest and strongest characters in the story basically.
っていうかさ、さっきから思ってたんだけど。
By the way, I was thinking about this, but
何このグロい色した場所。
this is so grotesque. Yeah, she's pretty scary.
説明してあげたら
Do you want me to explain? And also another thing with Awakened Tsukasa is how she's extremely smug and she's always looking down on everyone else, but she has the skills to back it up, so she's not looking down on people without reason. Especially Rika is extremely dumb, so she's always looking down on her.
名探偵としては先にコラボとやらを詳しく聞きたいところですけど、まあいいでしょう。
So Irene always calls herself a great detective, but like she doesn't really have the skills to back it up. Like or maybe she does, but like I can't say much to avoid spoilers either.
私たちは 31A と 31X の2部隊合同で高輪ゲートウェイ駅付近の異変の調査に来ていました。
So she's explaining we're currently on a mission with the San-Ichia team and the San-Ichi-X team. Irene is part of the how do I even say this in English? 31X. 31X is like the foreigners teams. So there's people from all around the world in this team. 6 people from around the world in this team. So Irene is part of it, and she's from England. So the two squads are investigating some kind of anomaly in the Takanawa Gateway Station, near the Takanawa Gateway Station. So that's why we're here.
現場にドローンを飛ばしてみたところ、途中で見えない壁に阻まれて墜落したとのこと。
And before getting inside, we sent in some reconnaissance drones, but they encountered some kind of invisible wall, and then they failed and they didn't come back. So yeah, Heaven's Red is a post-apocalyptic world mixing sci-fi and fantasy. So they use drones, they use several technology that don't actually exist, etc. It's pretty interesting. A really good mix of fantasy and sci-fi with a lot of world building, and they both are actually talking about this as always, like we are using drones, we're using this, we're using that. Like there's a lot of world building regarding all the post-apocalyptic stuff, all the military stuff, all the fighting, etc. etc.
そこで直接調査に来たわけですが、いつの間にかこの3人だけ妙な空間に飛ばされてしまったんです。
So because the reconnaissance drones failed, we decided to enter the tunnels by ourselves, but then suddenly we got warped into a weird space and we ended up getting separated from the others.
私らがコラボに選ばれし3人ってことか。
So we three are the chosen ones who got chosen by the collab.
何をどう考えたらそういう結論になるんですか？そもそもコラボって何なんですか？
What are you
推理
talking
しない
about?
のね。名探偵なのに。
You're not. What the hell are you talking about? And what's the collab? And Tsukasa is looking down her hair. So you keep saying you are a great detective, but you're not doing any reasoning at all. You're not figuring this out at all.
もちろんしますよ。名探偵ですから。
What are you talking about? I sure am. I am a detective.
とりあえず司令部に連絡しないとな。
So first we should contact our commanders.
無駄よ。通信は全くつながらないわ。
So Rika's saying we should try contacting our officers or commanders, but Tsukasachi is saying like it's not working at all. It's not connecting.
3人しかいない状況でキャンサーに見つかると厄介です。早く他の皆さんと交流を。
So if we get spotted by cancers when we are only the three of us, it's going to be pretty difficult. So we need to regroup with others as fast as possible. And then a cancer is going to appear. Three of them even.
と言ったそばからお出ましですか。
And speak of the devil.
新種のキャンサーね。今は逃げた方がいいと思うけど。
We never saw this type of cancers before, so it will be best to retreat.
そうだな。一旦撤退しよ
Yeah.
ヨハンナ
Ah.
アルセール
Ah. あ、すげえ。こんな出会い方するのか。ああ、いいね。
一体何が？
What just happened? 歩き方。あ、かっこいいね、ジョーカー。歩き方。これも再現してるのか。
怪我はないか？
Are you guys doing? Are you okay? You're not hurt? なんか、sorry, sometimes because I'm used to speaking in Japanese, because I do a Heaven's Red let's play of the main story and the events. Usually I do it only in Japanese and I comment and share my thoughts in Japanese. Sometimes I'm used to talking more in Japanese than in English when playing Heaven's Red. But like it's really cool, even if Joker is not playable, because there's only female playable characters in Heaven's Red, with Morgana being the first exception. Like, even if he's not playable, they bothered actually making a proper 3D model, and it's really cool. It's really funny. It's actually, how do you say this again? I forgot. Saigen. They actually reproduced the way he walks in Persona 5, the Joker walk.
なんかすごい格好の人たちがいる。
すごい格好？でもその通りよね。
Rika is like, wow, there's some people with some crazy clothes, and Makoto is embarrassed, but she's like, yeah, when you think about it, yeah. They're wearing some pretty crazy stuff.
まあ見慣れない格好というのは確かに。
Well, I guess it's true that their outfits are quite peculiar.
仮面もつけてるしな。
And we're wearing masks even. マルカナもいたのか。
ねえ、さっきの攻撃ってあなたたちがやったの？あれは何？
It's very funny, like, this kind of joke, like, Persona 5 in 2016, in 26, inshallah, September, I think it was September 9, September 10, it's going to celebrate its 10th anniversary, inshallah, and, like, it's been 10 years since they're doing the Neko Jane joke, it's still making me laugh. Like, Rika and Irene were like, wow, the cat is talking. He's like, I'm not a cat. 面白いね、いつも。So yeah, Tsukasa is like very pragmatic as always. However, that mixes sci-fi with fantasy as well. So sometimes if you play through all the events, you will see a lot of more fantasy elements. There must not be a certain event I really liked that focused on a mermaid. So there's a lot of fantasy elements despite being a sci-fi thing. So it's very interesting. So I guess Tsukasa is not particularly impressed by the talking cat. So she's asking, did you guys are using some kind of special attacks? What was that?
説明してやってもいいが、今はそれどころじゃないみたいだぜ。
Well, I would love to explain, but it seems like we don't have the time for that one now.
囲まれたようだな。
We're surrounded.
気になることは山積みですが、この状況をなんとかするのが先決ですね。
Yeah, I've got a lot of questions, but we gotta prioritize getting out of here.
私たちが戦うからそっちのみんなは下がってて。
We're going to fight them, so you can stay behind us.
気遣いなら無用だ。
Yeah, no need to worry about us.
ああ、それに下がるのはお前たちの方だぜ。
Yeah, you should be the one to stay back.
あの敵はおそらくシャドウです。私たちペルソナ使いにしか倒せません。
These enemies are probably shadows, and only us Persona users can defeat them.
シャドウ？ペルソナ？
もう一度見せた方が早そうだな。しっかり目に焼き付けとけよ。
It'd be faster if we just show you one more time. I guess it's going to be a guest battle. Sometimes you play with your actual party members, sometimes you play with story-specific party members, so I guess we're going to play as a personal characters.
さっさと終わらせようぜ。
Morgana. So certain enemies in Heaven Mazred are special barriers. These are E-shield enemies. You need to hit them with the specific elements. For this is a 10, so you need to do 10 hits with a specific elements, fire, light, or darkness, to break its shield. So these are the types of enemies. There's various types of enemies. Usually they have what we call a DP gauge, and it's like a you could think of it as like, to take a mainstream example, I guess Final Fantasy VII Remake, the remake battle system with the stagger system. The enemies have two bars, the blue bar and the red bar, and once you break the first bar, you can actually deal a lot of damage. Basically, it's oversimplification, but it's basically how it works to quickly explain to use the battle system. Sometimes there are special enemies, like these E-shield enemies, and you need to hit them a specific amount of times before you can deal real damage to break them. So we have Morgana here, and just like in Persona 5, is the idle stance is the same, it's very funny. Garudine. And also, this is something they explain in the live streams, explaining the collab. In Heaven Mazred, there's 5 elements. There's fire, ice, lightning, lightness, light, and dark. So there's no wind, just like in Persona. So for some of the Persona characters using elements that are not in the game, they kind of modified it. So that's why Garudine is actually wind in the Shin Megami Tensei, right? And Persona is actually wind, but there's no wind in Heaven Mazred, so they changed it to darkness.
意を示せゾロ。
あ、かっこいいね。
さっさと終わらせようぜ。
So yeah, Heaven Mazred use a turn-based battle system RPG. You can do normal attacks, you can do skills. And when you unlock in the gacha, you unlock styles or memoria. In the Japanese version, it's called styles, and in the English All-Star version, it's called memoria. And with memorias, you unlock unique skills that you can equip. And each memoria has a unique specific skill that you can only use when you have this memoria, basically. And you have the SS rarity, and since 2025 they introduced a new rarity, SSR, SS resonance, which is a higher rarity, but it has the same drop rates, basically. It's a little bit complicated, but anyway. So with each turn you get some SP more. When you limit break characters, you can get extra SP, etc. Basically, just like with every gacha game, as you limit break characters, they get stronger. If you get duplicates, dupes in the gacha. So you need to wait another turn to get 9 SP to be able to use Garudain again. So for now, we're just doing normal attacks. I guess in the meanwhile, Joker and Kasumi and Makoto are fighting the other ones, but we don't see it. We just control Morgana, because Morgana is the free character of the events. As we clear the event, you get Morgana for free. But for Makoto and Kasumi, you need to get them in the gacha, and I didn't roll them yet because I want to I do like Persona 5 a lot, and I'm waiting until Thursday to see what the next banner will be, just before the gacha ends. If it's like banner I'm not interested in, I'm gonna roll until the PT inshallah to get Makoto at least. But Kasumi, I do like her, but like Makoto and Kawakami sensei to Saene-san Kawakami sensei, and I guess we also like in Persona, obviously all the guys as well. Ryuji, Goro, Yusuke, Morgana, I like them a lot as well. And Haru, I like Haru a lot as well. There's no character I don't like in Persona 5. But yeah, so I'm going to see how it goes. If it's a character I really like in the next banner, maybe I'm gonna wait, or maybe also because characters in Heaven Red, they'll always get in the common pool, except for specific time-limited gacha specific characters, and for collab characters as well. So once the Persona 5 collab ends, you won't be able to get the characters again, so maybe I'm going to roll. I don't put money in the game, but like I have enough crystals to go to the PT, so maybe I will at least get Makoto, because she's really strong as well, and I really like her. So yeah, we're going to... Their posture is broken, we can do an all-out attack now.
Oh.
And Joker is not playable, but you can do all-out attack with Persona characters. These are the mechanics they did to try and replicate Persona 5. So exact same Enchutsu. Exact same... How you say Enchutsu in English again? It's the exact same screenplay as in the game, as in Persona 5. They redrew and reproduced everything. It's pretty cool. And you can do this with Persona characters. Wow, they managed to beat the cancers without using a seraph. So the seraphs are the special weapons that the girls in Heaven Red parts of the Seraphim squad can use. Wow, it is so cool, and there's something that appeared from the cat's back, from behind the cat. Morgana is kinda smug as always. It's pretty easy for me and one Persona. And I'm not a cat. Okay, so we can't let a cat get the best out of us like this. We gotta beat some of these counters as well. Hey, listen to me. And yeah, and Heaven Red Seraphim Squadron characters, they have a special code. And I can't really explain this without spoiling either. Because they explain this like, there's a lot of sci-fi and a lot of stuff, like basically they have a special code, and when they say this code, their weapons Seraphim appear from a wormhole Like, and they don't really know the technology. They can just use it. They just know that they can use it basically, but they don't know why and how to replicate it. But yeah, and each character has a specific weapon, and Ruka is unique in how she has two blades, and this is something we don't know why. Well, we do learn why as the story progresses, but like usually every people only have one set of weapon. It's a gun or a rifle or a scythe or a sword or a type of weapon, right? But Rika has two swords, and she's the sole person apparently who has two different seraphs that she summons, and she has a seraphim code that you need to say to summon your seraph. And her seraphim code is my legend is just beginning. 私の伝説はこれから始まる. And Irene has a gun. Irene has a gun, and Tsukasa has a gun as well. See?
シャドウを倒した。
Wow, they managed to beat the shadows.
マジかよ。どうなってんだ？
How is that possible?
とりあえずここは協力して通さない。いろいろと状況も整理したいしさ。
Well, for the meanwhile, we should cooperate with each other and share information.
賛成だ。みんなも異論ないか？
Yeah, I agree. You guys are alright with it as well?
はい。すぐに倒しましょう。
Yeah, let's hurry and beat these counters, these shadows.
早く始末した方が消耗も少ないしね。
来るぞ。お前たち構えろ。
Get ready.
アルセーヌ。
Yeah, Joker かっこいいね。
どうやら無事みたいだな。
Seems we're good for now.
うん、そっちこそ大丈夫だった。
ああ。ところでお前たちは一体何なんだ？さっきはいきなり空中から武器を呼び出したように見えたが。
So, by the way, who are you guys, and how did you manage to make weapons appear out of thin hair like this?
あたしらはセラフ部隊さ。それでさっきのはセラフ。世界を救う武器的なやつだよ。
So, we are the Seraphim Squadron, and these weapons are called Seraphim, and we are using them to save the world.
そんなあっさり喋っていいんですか？軍規犯ですよ。
Are you okay telling this? Like, why are you saying all this right away? These are military secrets.
平気だよ。コラボだから。
Well, it's fine, it's a collab.
意味がわかりません。
I have no idea what you're talking about.
推理しないのね。名探偵なのに。
Like, you're really not deducing anything despite being a great detective.
もちろんしますよ。名探偵ですから。
Of course I am. I am a great detective. So also one of the many things of Heaven Burns Red is like the scenarist team, especially Maeda Jun, always really likes comedic repetition, which is also something you could see in Angel Beats a lot if you watch Angel Beats, especially in the Angel Beats OVA, which was extremely funny with its jokes repetitions, and this is something that Heaven Burns Red does a lot as well. And Heaven Burns Red, usually in a single chapter or in a single event, you have a specific joke, and they will do this joke over and over and over again. Obviously, some people won't like it, but personally, I really like this kind of comedy, so I don't mind it. So it looks like one of the jokes you'll see in this collab is Tsukasa making fun of Irene for being dumb despite self-proclaiming herself as a great detective.
大丈夫かしら。何か問題でも。
So are you guys doing okay? Like,
大丈夫だよ。聞きたいことがあったら何でも聞いて。
yeah, we're fine. So you can ask us anything.
では失礼して。
Okay, so
セラフというのを呼び出したときに何かおっしゃっていましたよね。あれは？
you said something when you summoned your weapon, right?
確か、私の伝説はこれから始まるって言ってたわよね。
セラフィムコードのことね。セラフを呼び出すための工場みたいなものだよ。
So yeah, they're explaining what I just said, the Seraphim code, etc.
ねえ、 あなたたちが背後に出してたあのスタイリッシュなお化けは何？
So what's these cool monsters you were calling, you were summoning?
スタイリッシュなお化け。
Stylish. なんかTsukasa is very funny because she's pragmatic, but sometimes when she actually like she's always judging people by their skills, and when she actually likes someone and when she finds something cool, she actually says it even if she's still looking down on people. So that's why she's saying it this way.
私の見間違いじゃなければ、あなただけはバイクにまたがってたわね。
And if I'm not mistaken, for some reason you're using a bike as well.
バイクに見えたと思うけど、あれはバイクじゃないの。
It looks like one, but it's not one actually.
バイクでもお化けでもね。
It's not monsters and it's not a bike.
さっきのはペルソナ。心に宿る反逆の意志を具現化した力だ。
So these are personas. These are the manifestation, the physical manifestation of feelings of revolt we have inside of our hearts.
反逆の、まあ私らの使うセラフみたいなものか。
She's not getting it at all. So Rika is particularly dumb. So it even works as a joke as well. Despite being Japanese, there's even some kanji she can't read, which is also actually a thing with a lot of Japanese people. Like a lot of even for some Japanese people, there's a lot of kanji that they never use, and they are pretty hard to read, to know how to read. So Rika is especially dumb, so sometimes she doesn't understand something. So the other Awakened Tsukasa or Yuki is the sole person in Sanichie in their squad who is actually using her brain basically together with Tsukasa when she's awakened, just like now. So usually they're always explaining everything to Rika. So Rika, despite being the squad leader, she's pretty dumb. So she's like, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's just like our seraphs, but she doesn't get it.
途中で思考放棄すんな。
So she's like, don't stop thinking like midway. Like you didn't even try thinking about it.
それで伝わるんならいいぜ。
Well, I guess if you understand, it's fine.
ご説明ありがとうございます、猫さん。
Thanks for explaining, Mr. Cat.
あ、だから猫じゃねえ。
Yeah, but I'm not a cat.
では、何とお呼びすればいいでしょうか。
So how we should call you?
いい機会だし互いに自己紹介しないか。
Oh, right. We should introduce ourselves.
そうね。この人たちが敵じゃないってのは分かったことだし、私は賛成。
So yeah, we know they're not our enemies, so we should do that.
異議なしです。
Yeah, it's pretty interesting as well. Like the Kaito Dan, the Phantom Thieves. One thing I liked, but also I think one of my sole disappointments with Persona 5 is how I wish, like at the end of the day, Makoto is actually the leader, like in the game. But it's funny because in Collabs, because Joker is not mute, just like in the original game. So here Joker is actually acting like a leader. But it's funny, in the real game, Makoto is pretty much the actual leader. She's the one actually making all the plans, and she's the one making the final decisions. Like, I'm not gonna spoil, but she's also the sole character who has like a major connection with one of the other side characters, and with her sister and all that stuff, etc. Like, so I always wished, ever since I played Persona 5 10 years ago in Japanese on PS3, I always wished that actually they just made Makoto the protagonist, but sadly they can't make that because like the dumb otaku would get mad for not being able to play a self-insert. So speaking of which, I'm hoping in Persona 6 they actually make a female protagonist again. Would be really nice if they do this. So yeah, it's pretty interesting here that Joker is actually acting like the leader, and he's actually asking their opinions every time. It's pretty cool.
私、茅森ルカ。こっちは司っちとアイリンね。
So they're introducing themselves. I already introduced the characters, so I'm not gonna...
あだ名で紹介しないでくださいよ。
So she's like, don't introduce us with our nicknames. So another thing with Ruka is she gives everyone nicknames. So,
私、茅森ルカ。こっちは司っちとアイリンね。
so Tsukasa, she's calling her Tsukasachi, just like kinda a gyaru Gyaru characters, they tend to add chi to a character's name, right? For example, Higuchi とか、and Irene. She's called Irene, as in Irene's, Irene. In Japanese, they pronounce it Irene, but it's Irene, right? Irene. But like, Rika just call her Irene. So she's like, don't use her nicknames when introducing people.
私はアイリーン・レドメイン。真実を白日のもとにさらす者。名探偵です。
So yeah, she's from London and she considers herself to be a great detective, but she's not very great, it seems. So just like a lot of Soshage, Heaven's Red use a lot of stereotypes. Obviously, Irene is directly based on Sherlock Holmes, but she's like so an extremely interesting character with some special secrets, etc. If you play her events, etc. I didn't play all her events yet, but you get to know more about the other characters besides the protagonist if you play the events, etc. So, like, this is one of the staples. I think it's not only common to Soshage, to gacha games, but it's always been a thing in Japanese RPGs, especially these last 20 years when games became more and more character driven. What I mean by character driven is how like they focus on the seiyuu, they focus on specific archetypes, etc. And I think one of the biggest, like if you play Tales of Vesperia, for example, I think it's one of the best examples of a game that was like at the shift between when we shift between mainly story driven to mainly character driven RPGs. It's one of the games, in my opinion, that has a great balance in that regard, in how Yuri is an incredible protagonist and the party members are incredible, but they also are very focused, like, on the Tales of series have always been like this, but I think Vesperia specifically was like one of the apex of like this, like this era change, like of how a lot of RPGs started being extremely character driven, and this is the same as for Persona 5 as well. And like they take very famous seiyuu and like you already know, just from the seiyuu, you already know what kind of character you're going to deal with. And this is especially true for gacha games as well, because in gacha games, like they only go for stereotypes because they want people to be able to recognize a character at a first glance and immediately fall in love with them and want to pull them after seeing them for once again. And it's also one of the reasons why I don't care about most 99% of gacha characters, visuals, character design wise, because they're always too stereotyped, in my opinion. And it's also something I need to develop in a article one day, inshallah. Anyway, let's move on.
東條司よ
Tsukasa is a informant, and because of spoilers I can't explain it, but usually she acts extremely dumb, but when she awakens she's actually as smart as she should be, and she's like extremely strong and extremely witty and extremely smug. And it seems like for most of this event she's going to be in Awakened mode. So usually she's extremely dumb, and if you play Heaven's Red, if you play the main story, at the beginning of the game she'll be extremely dumb, but as it progresses, like you wouldn't learn what happened with her past and why she's acting like this, etc.
悪いが、こっちはコードネームで紹介させてもらうぜ。安易に正体を明かせない身だからな。
So Morgana is like, sorry, but we can't tell you our real names because we gotta use code names in a field of work.
ジョーカーだ。
I'm Joker. So 心の怪盗団のリーダー、ある事件をきっかけにペルソナ扱いとして覚醒する。So yeah, Joker is the leader of the Phantom Thieves of Hearts. After a certain incident, he became a Persona user.
我が輩はモナだ。よろしく頼むぜ。
So one of the members of the Phantom Thieves, a mysterious being that looks just like a black cat. He can speak, like he can transform into various things.
私はクイーンさっきは助かったわありがとう
So the brain of the Phantom Chiefs, the strategists of the Phantom Chiefs. She has a straightforward and like Zuno. I don't know how you can read this, but like she's like a straightforward personality and like very smart and like and also like very honest and justice loving and like they can and she can't like she's always helping people, etc. Blah blah blah.
バイオレットです。よろしくお願いいたします。
And a very how you say this? Regi tadashi. How do you say this in English again? I forgot. Like very polite, a very polite girl that calls Joker and the others her senpai. And she's like so I don't know much about Kasumi, about Violet, to be honest, because I actually finished the original Persona 5, but I never finished Royal yet. Like I bought Royal on the Japanese release in 2019, but I never finished it. I played it up to the pyramid. So one day I'm probably going to get it on PC, but like I already bought the game, so I'm not gonna buy it again. I'm gonna get it on PC and then maybe get a save so I can go back to the pyramid immediately. And then all my friends, all my online friends have said that the final part that they added in Royal is worth it, so I want to try and play it at some point one day, inshallah. But yeah, I don't actually know much about Violet. But I do know, I think, like, it's not that I got spoiled. I think I just, because in Persona 5 Royal, right from the beginning of the game, there's a certain lines in the dialogues that have been changed compared to the original version, and I noticed which lines were changed, so I think, just because from these lines, I think I already figured out her real identity and stuff, even if I never spoiled myself. But yeah, I still haven't finished Royal, so like I don't know that much about her, and I'm not sure if my guess about her is correct or not.
これでお互いのことはバッチリ知れたね。
Okay, so we know each other
名前だ
now.
けですけどね。
Well, only our names though.
ただ大きな疑問が、どうやらジョーカーさんたちはキャンサーを知らない様子。この世界にいてそれはありえない状況です。つまり
But I guess one thing that piques my interest is how Joker and Co, you guys don't know about cancers, right? Which is impossible if you were from our world, which means...
これはコラボ QED です。
さっきからずっとそう言ってるけど
So this means it's a collab, right? And Tsukasa is like, yeah, that's what we've been saying since the beginning.
東條さんが推理しないのね。名探偵なのにって言ったんじゃないですか。
You're the one who told me to act like a great detective.
それで QED になるかはよくわからないけどさっき言ってたキャンサーって何かしら
Well, I'm not sure if this, like, really needed some deduction, but, like, what are these cancerous things you're talking about?
宇宙から来た侵略者だよ。しかも普通の兵器が効かない化け物。
So, these are aliens who drop down on Earth, and normal weapons don't work on them.
キャンサーには知的生命体を捕食する習性があるのそれで人類は絶滅の危機ってわけ
And the cancers, they eat intelligent beings, so they eat humans, so humanity is currently on the brink of destruction.
さらっと言ってるが、とんでもない状況じゃないか。
Wow, you're talking about it like it's nothing, but it's a crazy situation.
まるで SF 映画みたいな話ですね。
It's just like a sci-fi movie.
こっちも人のことは言えないけどね
Well, like, not like we can talk much.
俺たちは怪盗団として活動中、妙な穴に飲み込まれたんだ。
So, while we were doing our Phantom Chiefs activities, we got sucked in a weird hole.
怪盗団
Phantom Chiefs?
ここにずっといるとまた襲われるかもしれない移動しながら説明するわ
Well, we might get attacked again if we stay here, so we should talk while walking. We should talk and move at the same time. So it's going to be a dungeon part now, I guess. In Heaven Bends Red, most of the dungeons are linear in 2D. And there's a few dungeons in the story and in the events that are in full 3D, but it's pretty rare. Most of the time it's
なるほど。
2D. Oh, I get it now.
歪んだ欲望を抱く腐った大人を改心させる心の怪盗団ですか。
So you guys are reforming corrupt people with wicked hearts.
ああ、怪盗ね。道理で仮面をつけているわけか。
Oh, that's why you're wearing masks, you're phantom thieves.
現実で何かを盗んでるわけじゃないのね。
But like you're not actually stealing things in real life.
そんなチャチな連中と一緒にするなよ。我が輩たちがいただくのは腐った大人の悪い心だけだ。
So we're not actually stealing in real life. So what we are stealing is the wicked hearts of corrupt individuals.
心の怪盗団は悪党を改心させるためメメントスと呼ばれる異世界の迷宮を探索中だった。
And in order to do that, you guys were currently exploring these labyrinths in another world called Mementos.
そして突如現れた穴に飲み込まれ仲間とはぐれてしまったと。
And then you got sucked in by that weird hole and you got separated from your squad mates.
そのコスプレをされていると推理パートが始まりそうですね。
When you're when you're cosplaying... おい、何？
コスプレじゃなくて清掃です。
ああ。
本当に名探偵なんです。
And Violet is like, oh, you're dressed, you're cosplaying as a detective because you tend to always do this kind of detective-like deductions, right? And Irene is like, it's not a cosplay, I'm really a detective for real. I'm really a great detective.
ごめんなさい。私てっきり。
Oh, sorry, I really thought it was just cosplay.
いえ、謝られるほどでは。
Yeah, no need to apologize, it's fine.
けど話してよかったの？安易に正体明かせないって言ってたけど。
So, are you guys okay with telling us all this? Didn't you say you should keep your identities private, secret?
気にするな。我が輩たちはコードネームを使っているから完全に明かしたわけじゃない。
It's fine because we're using code names.
それに一時的とはいえ素性の知れない相手と行動するのは不安でしょ。
And like, it would be weird to cooperate if we don't know how to call each other, right?
そもそもこちらの話を信じてくれるのか。
Do you even believe us, by the way?
嘘ついてる感じじゃなかったし、私たちの話も大概でしょ。
Well, like, it doesn't seem like you're lying, and you guys believed us as well, so...
お互い様ってことね。そっちのお仲間さんは大丈夫なの？
So, will your friends be alright by themselves?
おそらく無事だろう。穴に飲まれたのはここにいるメンバーだけだ。
I think they're fine because only the four of us got dragged into the hole.
先輩たちはきっと今頃私たちを必死に探していますよね。
I'm sure they're frantically trying to find us even now.
そうね。ナビがいるから無茶な深入りはしてないと思うけれど。
Well, but Navi was with them, so I'm sure they're going to be fine. Like they won't get lost in the Mementos or anything. So Navi is Futaba, but the Heaven Band's red characters they don't know, so they're probably going to think that she's talking about GPS, right?
ナビ？
やっぱね。
私たちの仲間よ。メメントスの中でも連絡が取れる力を持っているの。
So she's one of our friends, and she has a special power that makes it so we can stay connected even inside the Mementos.
そのナビと連絡が取れないってことは、ここは我が輩たちの知るメメントスじゃないだろうな。
And if we can't contact Navi, it means that we're not in the usual Mementos.
今我が輩が感じている気配も普段メメントスで感じているものとは少し違う。メメントスであってメメントスではない妙な感覚だ。
And I can feel that this is a little bit different from the usual Mementos we usually explore. It's a very peculiar feeling.
ふむ。情報を整理する時間が欲しいところですね。
Yeah, I wish we had more time to sort the information we have.
とりあえず私たちは他の仲間と合流を目指そうと思うんだけど、ジョーカーたちはどうする？
So we're going to try and regroup with our other members. What are you guys going to do?
お互い仲間とはぐれて戦力が分散している状態だ。
So we both got separated from our friends, so our fire power is currently dwindled.
ここは一つ取引しないか。
So wanna make a deal?
取引具体的には
What do you mean specifically?
こちらは茅森たちが仲間と合流するのをサポートする。
So we'll help you find your friends.
その代わり無事に仲間と合流できたときはこちらが仲間と合流するのを助けてほしい。
But in exchange, once you find your friends, you're going to help us find ours.
悪くない提案ね。
So yeah, that makes sense.
本来なら司令部に確認を取るべきですが。
Usually for this kind of decisions, we should be asking our commanders first.
通信ができない以上、現場で判断するしかないわ。どうするの？
But we can't contact them right now, so we have no choice but to decide by ourselves. And she's asking Ruka because Ruka is technically... Irene is part of another squad, but since Ruka is here, Ruka is the commanding person between the three because Ruka is a squad leader, and Tsukasa is part of Ruka's squad, and Irene is part of the 31X squad, and her leader, Carol, is not here, so they're both asking Ruka what to do.
断る理由なんてないよ。改めてになるけど、これからよろしくね。
So we have no reason to refuse, so let's get along.
取引成立だな。
So yeah, that's settled then. So I guess it's going to be our dungeon part now, in 2D as always. Linear dungeons. After the Manzard. Oh, did we get out?
抜け出せたか。
We managed to get outside.
よかった。ジョーカーたちがいなかったらめちゃくちゃきつかった。
Well, thank God, like it would have been much more difficult if you guys weren't here with us.
私たちも助かりました。ありがとうございます。
Yeah, that's our line.
いえいえ、そういう取引ですから。
Yeah, no need for thanks, like this is what we agreed on.
なんだあれ。
What's going on here? What's that?
これって。
戦闘よ。私たちはあれの調査に来てたってわけ。
Oh, it's Sento. These are the towers that when they defeat boss counters, because there are the small counters we've seen, and there are sometimes hub counters. Hub counters, basically they send signals to control the other counters, and once you beat hub counters, there's these salt towers that appear. I think that's... let me check the kanji. Oh, my bad. So it's not a salt spire, it's just a spire. Just a tower, a spire. I forgot if they ever said what kind of material these are made of, but basically when you beat boss cancers, this appears. And it's weird, but usually there's no weird red material like this, so this is why they're investigating it, I assume.
すごくまがまがしい見た目。
It looks really ominous.
なんだか不気味ですね。
Yeah.
ああ。放っておいたらやばそうな気がするぜ。
Yeah, it's probably going to be bad if you just ignore it.
あんな見た目ですが、今のところ戦闘が何か問題になったことはないんですけどね。
Yeah, it changed the way it looks, but at least for now we never got any issues with these spires. So yeah, like they never said there's never been any danger regarding spires yet, but probably as one day as the main story progresses, they probably say it's going to be some last resort of the cancer, like maybe. But yeah, we don't know why it does that, but when we beat a boss cancers, it just turns into these towers. ちょっとラグってる。
強力なキャンサーを倒すとあの塔になるんだけど、私らが知らないうちにできてたから調査しに来たんだよ。
So yeah, when we beat up boss cancer, it turns into this kind of towers, but this one just appeared, so we came to investigate it.
もしかしてジョーカーたちが倒してたりする？
Maybe you guys defeated it?
いや、倒したのは君たちと会ってからだ。戦いは避けていた。
No, the first time we beat cancers was when we met you guys. Until then, we were avoiding battles. We are avoiding fights. I think because I have the game open for so long, it's starting to lag a little bit. Oh, so we have the members of Sanichi A and the members of Sanichi X. So these are Ruka's squadmates, Ruka and Tsukasa squadmates, Yuki, Karen, Tama, Megumin, and these are Irene squadmates. So they are each from different countries. Sadly, Heaven Bends Red, just like nearly every single Soshage, there's not a single black character, there's not a single dark skin character, and even when it comes to ethnicities who are usually dark skinned, they make them extremely light skinned. And this is also something one day, inshallah, in an article I will develop. So you have Carol from America, you have it's also always obviously always the same Western based countries, the same countries that Japan fantasized about and has inferiority white people complex about. So you have Carol from America, she is a squad leader, so she is Ruka's equivalent basically. You have Sharo from Russia, you have Yun from China, you have Maria from Italia. She's one of my favorite characters in the game, by the way. And you have Buri from India. And Maria is extremely interesting, one of my favorites. I have 6 favorite characters in the game, and Maria is one of maybe my number 1 favorite. And yeah, and Carol has the usual like stereotypical American accents, gaijin accent. So like some people don't like it, but personally, ever since I was a kid, like I think it's kind of funny. So yeah, it's extremely stereotypical. Like it's pretty funny because there are some seiyuu in Heaven Bends where they're actually bilingual, but because it's a Japanese game, they purposely tell them to talk in English and to voice their characters in English, even if they can't actually talk perfectly. And one of the commanders, most notably, she will show up later, Nanamin. Her seiyuu is Uchidashu, and Uchidashu is bilingual, Japanese-English, but when she voices Nanamin in the game, they make her talk in English even if she can actually speak perfect English normally. I'm not a cat though. Cat じゃねえよ。おもろいね。And Megumi is also one of the characters that shows the mix between fantasy and sci-fi in Heaven Bends Red because she has psychic powers. She's a psychic. She can like levitate objects and she can generate electricity and stuff. And this is also something that becomes important in the main story as well. She becomes quite a big important character at some point in the story. Oh, it's speaking, so it's not a cat then. But it does look like a cat though. Yeah, like you should just like look like don't think too hard about it. And she's like, you guys are getting used to this pretty fast. Oh, so these are your squad mates? Please explain, Tsukasachi, please explain what's happening. Why are you telling me to do it? And they're all dumb, by the way, so maybe they won't even get it. Oh, so this time you're doing a collab with another world. Like, it's not this time, it's every single time. I guess you all are quite unique. Sorry for surprising you. No, it's fine. We are not ones to talk about uniqueness. Karen-chan is like, yeah, we are the weirder ones. So yeah, and Karen, another, each character has specific specificities, and Karen, Sakura Karen, she has a split personality. So you have Asakura Karen and you have Karen in katakana. In English, I think it's Karrie. It's Karen and Karrie, I think they did it in English. And in Japanese, it's Asakura. They say a family name for the first personality. And for the second personality, they just say Karen. And the second personality is like a serial killer. And she's also like kinda also a pretty bad stereotype when it comes to anime. They often do this, like people with split personalities are always evil. People with schizophrenia or split personalities are always evil, this kind of stuff. It's a pretty bad. It's one of the pretty bad stereotypes of anime that has been in Japanese pop culture that has been ongoing for decades. But I think in Awakened Tsukasa it's actually handled pretty well. I think, in my opinion, what they end up doing with it. Like I think, I assume most people won't agree, but personally I think it does pretty interesting things with that.
謝ってすぐに驚かすなよ。
Don't surprise her like that right after apologizing.
いかつい格好でえらい可愛い声出すやん。
Wow, you've got a really crazy outfit, but yet you can make such a cute voice. 何?
コラボ相手に失礼働くな。締め落とすぞ。
And these two are always fighting because, in a way, Tsukasa, when she awakens, it's like she has a split personality as well. So these two characters in the same squad of the protagonist squad, and both have split personalities, so they often tend to fight each other like this. And she's like, "Hey, don't be rude to Collab characters. You're going to make you're going to make our game look bad." And she's like, "Hey, let me go. Like you're already making us look bad anyway."
大丈夫よ。急でびっくりしちゃっただけだから。
Oh, it's fine. I just got a little bit surprised.
とまあ、私の仲間はこんな感じさ。
So yeah, these are my friends.
あんまクイーンにちょっかい出すと後が怖いぞ。
Mona is like, yeah, don't tease Queen too much, or else she's going to get scary. She's going to get angry.
なぜわらわではなくアイリーンが選ばれたのだ。
So Yun, she's always kinda wants to be recognized, so she's like, how come I didn't get selected by the Collab and Irene got selected?
うるさい。死ね。
And she's like, yeah, shut up, I'll kill you. And Maria, she's like, just die or I'm gonna kill you is like her catchphrase. She says this to everyone. And she's like, what?
Sorry, 本気で言ってるわけじゃないわ。口が悪いだけよ。
Don't worry about it. She's not serious. She's just very rude. Rude.
怪盗カリー、なぜでしょう。新たなレシピが生まれそうです。
And also, yeah, you can see these characters are each from a specific country, and it's very stereotypical at first glance with the India girl talking about Karrie, but it's also actually pretty well developed. And it's very similar in a way to Sakura Taisen characters, in how in Sakura Taisen they always go super hard on stereotypes, right? On this girl is from Maria is from Russia, so she's a cold fighting with a gun, cold lady, tall yellow-haired lady, etc. French, etc. Like every single Sakura Taisen character is extremely stereotypical, super hard going with the country like stereotypical racist tropes, but it's actually extremely. But when you know the characters, they're actually extremely interesting, and they're not as stereotypical as it looks in first glance. And basically, Heaven Burns Red is doing the exact same thing. So yeah, like the Indian girl is talking about Karrie, but like, don't worry, it's not actually like they don't actually do like downright offensive stuff.
ルカが無事でよかった。
And yeah, she's like, for some reason, the Phantom Cheese makes me think of Karrie. So she's a Persona 5 reference. Shadow is like, I'm just happy that Ruka is fine, is unharmed. And Shadow is a yandere. She's in love with Ruka, so like she's really likes Ruka. So it's the joke is she doesn't care about other people dying as long as Ruka is fine.
とまあ私の仲間はこんな感じです。自由ですみませんでした。
And Irene is like, sorry, my friends, my squad mates are weird like this.
いえ謝られるほどでは。
No need to apologize.
次はジョーカーたちの仲間を探しに行かないとね。
Okay, so I guess we gotta find your friends next.
ダメですルカ。今のルカは疲れています。シャラにはわかります。
No, we can't do that now. I know that you're tired. I can tell.
ルカの疲れが取れるまでシャラが癒した。ルカ、それ以上はシャラが癒されてしまいます。
And she's like, until you're not, I'm going to heal you up until you're not tired anymore. And then she starts fantasizing.
私何もしてないんだけど。
I haven't done anything.
確かに仲間は心配だが、無理して戻るのはかえって危険だ。
So yeah, I'm definitely worried about my friends, but like, there's no need to, it's too dangerous to go back right now.
だな。あいつらだって簡単にやられるようなヘマはしないさ。
Yeah, and it's not like they're going to go down easily either, so.
私たちも全く疲れがないといえば嘘になるしね。
Yeah, and I can't say that we are not tired ourselves either.
そうですね。私たちに何かあれば結局ははぐれた先輩たちにも迷惑をかけることになってしまいます。
Yeah, and if something happens to us, this will be bad for the others waiting for us, so.
だったらジョーカーたちも一緒に基地に来ない？
So you should come back with us to our base. So yeah, the Seraphim Squad, they have a base that looks like a school, but it's actually a base. But it's females only, so I wonder what they're going to do now. I guess Joker and Morgana are going to camp outside or something? Or they're going to prepare a special place for them or something? Because there's only female soldiers at the base.
戦いで疲れた分はちゃんと休んで、それから仲間を探そうよ。
So yeah, we should rest up and then we can go look for your friends.
ありがたい提案だが、ただでそこまで世話になるわけにはな。
Yeah, like, I appreciate the thought, but like, we can't impose on you that much, so we're going to figure it out ourselves.
そうね。基地に置かせてもらう代わりに私たちもセラフ部隊の調査を手伝うのはどうかしら。
Yeah, in exchange for letting us use your base, how about we help you out in your activities, in your shares and stuff, as Seraphim members?
いいと思います。クイーン先輩。
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
こっちはすごい助かるけど、司令部に確認しないとね。
Well, I would love to, but we need to confirm with our commanders first.
アイリーン、報告お願いできる？
Can you do a report?
はい、任せてください。
またルカの周りに知らない人が増える。
She's like, why are there even more people getting along with Ruka besides than myself?
アイリーン、急いで
Hurry up. So yeah, typical yandere, she doesn't like it when other people gets along with the person she likes. So yeah, I wonder how they're going to do this, because it's a female-only base, so they're probably going to prepare some kind of building for Joker and Morgana, and the others as well, and they'll just let them live there together.
司令部の手塚です。おおよその話はアイリーンさんから聞きました。
So this is the commander of the base, Tezuka Saki. She's also one of my 6 favorite characters, and she's also the one who trained the 31A squad at the beginning of the game. In Chapter 1, you go through military training, and she's the one who trained Ruka and the others. And she's the commander, so she's a very important character who is like presence all around the story, all around the events.
高輪ゲートウェイ駅調査の件、心の怪盗団にも力を貸してもらえるのなら助かるわ。
So yeah, I heard the report regarding the Takanawa Gates investigation. I would like it if you would help us.
意外と話が早いですね。
Oh, I'm surprised like you accepted so fast.
なんだかんだ司令官もコラボに慣れてるってことさ。
Well, the commander is also used to the collabs, so.
泉さんの話によると、あなたたち以外は見えない壁のようなものに阻まれて、駅の中心に近づけなかったそうよ。まるで異世界ね。
So, according to Izumi Yuki, there's like some kind of invisible wall that prevents anyone besides you 6 people. I think Joker, Makoto, Morgana, Kasumi, Ruka, Airin, Tsukasa. 7 people. There's only only you 7 can go inside. It's like another world.
異世界か。結構しっくりくる言葉かもしれねえな。
Yeah, another world. This might be the perfect words to explain what's happening.
どういう意味かしら。
What do you mean?
全然動じてませんね。
慣れてるからね。
Yeah, Airin is like, whoa, she's not surprised at all. Ruka is like, yeah, she's used to it.
我が輩たちはメメントスを通じて元いた世界から別の世界へと来ちまったってわけだ。
Like, Sakine-san didn't react at all at Morgana speaking. Because, yeah, like I said several times now, there's also fantasy elements in Heaven Benzret, so as the commander, I assume Sakine-san already encountered various things in her life. Maybe supernatural beings like the mermaid in one of the events. So she's not phased at all by the cats talking. And speaking of which, the characters are keeping their Phantom Chief's appearances, and Mona is staying in Mona form as well. Is not turning back into a normal cat.
そう考えれば、我が輩が感じた妙な違和感も納得できる。我が輩たちはメメントスを通じて元いた世界から別の世界へと来ちまったってわけだ。
So yeah, I think what happens is because of Mementos, we were sent to another world. So this would explain as well the eerie feeling I have about this Mementos.
茅森たちは慣れてるみたいだが、こういうのはよくあることなのか？
So you guys seem used to it. Does this happen very often? So yeah, it is, if you count the 3 Angel Beats collabs, and then the Power Pro collab, this Persona 5 collab is the 5th collab in the game. So probably going to make a joke about this. Because...
よくあるってほどじゃないけど、それなりには。まあ、ここは私らのホームだし、気軽に頼ってよ。
So yeah, like I wouldn't say it happens that often, but like it does happen. But anyway, this is our base and everything, so just use it as you see fit.
ありがとうございます。正直に言うとまだ戸惑いはありますが、少しずつ慣れていきたいと思います。
Yeah, thanks. Like, to be honest, I'm still a little bit started, but I hope I will get used to it.
私たちがキャンサーと呼ぶ存在を怪盗団はシャドウと呼ぶそうね。シャドウについて説明してくれるかしら。
So, we're counting these monsters as cancers, but you're counting them shadows, so I would like you to explain to me what shadows are.
シャドウは歪んだ欲望が形を成した化け物だ。
So, shadows are the physical manifestation monsters that are born from the WRIGHT feelings of people. The WRIGHT ambitions, like the WRIGHT feelings, yeah.
それって例えば、私がギター弾きたいってなったら、ギターの化け物が出てくる感じ？
So this means, for example, if I really want to play the guitar, does this mean that a guitar monster is going to appear?
考え方は間違っちゃいないが、それくらいじゃシャドウは生まれないぜ。
Well, like your reasoning isn't wrong, but just like this won't be enough to make a shadow.
シャドウを倒す方法ですが、本来ならペルソナの力が必要です。
And regarding how to defeat shadows, usually you need what we call a persona.
けれど、高輪ゲートウェイ駅に現れたシャドウはセラフで倒すことができた。
But the shadows in the Takanawa Gateway station could be beaten by seraphs as well.
ああ、セラフ部隊と出会ったメメントス。便宜上、高輪メメントスと呼ぶことにするが。
So yeah, we could start calling it Takanawa Mementos.
そこで生まれたやつは 違う性質を持っていると考えるべきだな。
It looks like the shadow that are born there have different specificities than the usual shadows.
同じように、あの異世界も我が輩たちの知るメメントスとは違っているはずだ。
So yeah, that's different from the Mementos we know.
ありがとう。概要は理解できました。
Okay, thanks, Roger. I understand what's happening now.
結局のところあの敵はシャドウとキャンサーどちらなんでしょうか。
So, are these shadows or are these cancers?
見た目はキャンサーに近かったですよね。
Well, they look like cancers at least.
コラボ時空で生まれたコラボキャンサーってことか。
This is pretty funny she's saying this because there's already been collab cancers like this. In the Power Pro collab, there was a cancer specifically made for Power Pro. So she's like, these cancers were born in the collab during this collab, so we could call them collab cancers.
コラボキャンサーなんかダサいわね。
It sounds kind of lame. So here you can see she has a much normal, like much softer expressions. She's not awakened anymore, so she's in dumb mode right now. She's not awakened like earlier.
ではシャドウキャンサーはどうでしょうか。
So maybe we should just call them shadow cancers.
なるほど。シャドウとキャンサーが合わさった存在だからこそ、ペルソナとセラフの両方で倒せるのかもしれませんね。
So yeah, these are enemies that mix both shadows and cancers, so this is why we can beat them by either personas or with seraphs.
いいじゃない。それでいきましょう。
Yeah, let's call them that from now on.
のんきな奴らだな。
You guys are pretty carefree.
名称があった方がこちらも今後指示しやすいわ。
Well, we do need a proper name for them, so it's easier to give orders this way.
改めて今回の任務内容を説明します。 31A 茅森さん、東條さん、31X アイリーンさん。
Okay, so I will explain your mission once more.
あなたたちには高輪ゲートウェイ駅付近の異変と突如出現した戦闘の調査を命じます。
So I order you to investigate the spire that appeared in Takanawa Gateway Station and its irregularities.
また怪盗団の協力を要請するにあたり、彼らが元の世界に帰れるようサポートしなさい。
And look for a way to help them get back to their own world as well.
サポートしたいのはそうだけど、どうやったら帰れるようになるの？
Well, I do want to help them, but how are we supposed to do it?
今のところは地道に高輪メメントスを探るしかないだろうな。
Well, I guess for now our only option is to explore the Takanawa Mementos.
我が輩の感覚だと元のメメントスとつながってるのは間違いないはずだ。
Like, I can tell by instincts that it's definitely connected to the Mementos of our own world.
調査は足でするもの。この名探偵に任せてください。
So yeah, this means field work, so leave it to a great detective like me.
ありがとうございます。私たちも力になれるよう頑張りますね。
We'll do everything we can to help as well.
それともう一つ、怪盗団にはセラフ部隊と過不足なく連携できるようになってほしいの。
Another thing is I want you guys to be able to coordinate properly in battle.
任務が終わるまでは茅森さんたちと共に過ごしてもらえるかしら。
So until you manage to go back, I want you to stay with Kayamuri's squad. Is that okay?
そういうのは得意よ。この名調法員に任せて。
And so the persona characters and Aileen as well are going to temporarily join the Sanichi as a 3-1-way squad under Ruka. And she's like, yeah, sure, leave it to me. I'm a great informant after all.
いや、聞かれているのは怪盗団の人たちですよ。
And she's like, wait, she was asking the Phantom Chiefs, not you.
惜しかった。
she's like,
どこがだよ。
and like he's like, why are you disappointed? Because you're supposed to be part of the squad in the first place anyway.
そもそも名諜報員って自分で諜報員を名乗るものなのかしら。
And she's like, why is she even self calling herself a great informant. Like, is being an informant even something like you call yourself anyway?
手塚司令官の言った件だが、みんなは問題ないか？
So, are you guys okay with all that?
え
Yeah.
ありがとう。では、怪盗団には連絡用の通信端末を支給するわ。
Okay, so we are going to give you a terminal to be able to stay in touch with you guys.
本任務開始は明日からとします。今日のところはしっかりと体を休めてちょうだい。では解散。
So you will start the mission tomorrow, so for now you can rest, you're dismissed. So they still haven't talked about where are they going to stay in the base. They have to prepare a room for Joker and Morgana. And Makoto and Kasumi, they're probably going to stay in Ruka's room with the other squad mates, I assume. I remember in the Angel Beats collab, there was this as well. Yurippe, Kanade, and Miyuki, they slept in Ruka and the Sanichie room, the squad 31A room. And because there's only 6 beds, so Miyuki and Yurippe were sleeping together. Ruka and Yuki were sleeping together, if I remember correctly, and Kanade was sleeping alone. You can watch my video translation of the first Angel Beats collab, by the way. I did a translation of it, just like this video. I played through the whole thing and translated it live. I also did it for the second and the third Angel Beats collabs.
さて、
Oh wait, no, I
コラ
didn't.
ボ恒例のセラフ基地ツアーやっちゃいますか？
I didn't translate the second and third ones, and the second one is already in English anyway. The third one is not in English yet, but it's going to be released at some point anyway. So, but yeah, the first one back when it released in February 2023, I did a live stream translating it live. So now we're going to give you a tour of the base.
いいわね。
Yeah, nice.
さっきから気になってたけど、基地に戻ってきてからの東條さん、様子が変じゃない？
Oh, they can't change back into their normal outfits, but they're removing their masks in the meanwhile. So I've been thinking about this ever since we got back into the base, but aren't you acting a little bit different?
キャラが変わってるよな。
Yeah, it looks like a different person.
光の司っちと闇の司っちがいるんだよ。
Yeah, 違うんだよ. Like, there's a light Tsukasachi and there's a darkness Tsukasachi. No, that's not it.
私が光の司っちね。
Oh, no. But since she's dumb, she's accepting it. But if it was the Awakened version, she would be like, hey, don't stop saying some dumb stuff like this. And she's like, so I'm the light version.
闇の司っちは東條さんが覚醒した状態なんです。
So the dark Tsukasachi is when she gets awakened.
そうなのね。
Oh, oh, okay.
てか初めてちゃんと素顔見たけどさ、君たち可愛いね。この後どこ行く？
なんかナンパしてるみたいで。Rika is acting like she's hitting on them. She's like, oh, by the way, now that I get a closer look at you guys, you're both really, really cute. Like, well, do you want to hang out together after that? She's acting like if she's a random dude hitting on girls.
なんでナンパ風なんですか？
Why are you acting like a guy trying to pick up girls?
怪盗が仮面を取って大丈夫なの？
So, is it fine if you remove your mask even though you're Phantom Chiefs?
今はシャドウキャンサーも近くにいませんし、皆さんなら顔を見せても問題ないでしょうから。
Well, there's no enemies here, so I think it's fine.
手塚からも互いに理解を深めてくれって言われてるしな。
And the commander Tezuka did say that we need to get along with each other, so... Oh, she's super hungry.
すみません。メメントスに入ってから何も食べていなくて。
Sorry, I didn't eat anything ever since we got into the Mementos.
全然。私もお腹空いたし、先にご飯食べよっか。
Alright, it's fine, so let's go eat something. Amona kawaii ne. So I guess they're just not going to talk about how the Tezuka gave her okay anyway, so yeah, usually the base is females only, but like they're just not going to mention it anyway because Tezuka gave the okay. So personally, I obviously don't care, but I assume some people like, that's how to say this, just like, see something I already talked about many times in past videos, in past articles, but there's, you have the Purichi otaku, right? The kind of otaku who get mad when the characters are like interacts with the opposite gender, like, so also if they're like the kind of otaku when they don't like it when male idol characters interacts with female characters, and the type of male characters who don't like it, and like they burn their merch, like they drop a series if it turns out a female characters are like actually was not a virgin, or actually was married with someone, or actually had a boyfriend, or actually even dares to speak to another male character. And this is why certain series like Love Live, they make it purposefully as if male people don't exist, right? In Love Live, they make it as if male people don't exist. They never ever show male characters, be it the characters' parents or random people in the streets, right? But like a lot of shoshage, there's only female playable characters in Heaven Burns Red, but actually in the story itself, they never made it this way. Like they never try to cater to this kind of otaku, Purichi otaku. So as you play through the main story, as you play through the events, it's not very that rare to meet male characters, male NPCs in the story, especially when they're technically the Seraphim's members, they are military, right? But sometimes they're not supposed to interact with civilians. They're just supposed to protect, but sometimes they do interact with them, and obviously they do interact with male characters when this happens. So even if there's no male characters in the game, they've never been like particularly crazy about this kind of stuff. Like they've never been particularly crazy about pandering to crazy Purichi otaku who get mad when a female character even meets eyes with a male character. So like it's that's why it's fine. And I think most otaku like this, they already dropped Heaven Burns Red long ago, so I don't think anyone playing this collab actually cares that much. Maybe some weirdos will complain about it on Twitter or something, but like shouldn't care about this kind of stuff. So yeah, we have Morgana, Joker, and Makoto, Kasumi, and we're exploring the base. And in Heaven Burns Red, you also have a lot of optional dialogue lines. Like the objective is this way, but I'm purposefully going to go the other way to listen what she has to say. I should guide them to the cafeteria. The cafeteria is this way, but I'm going to keep going this way. It's the same line. Sometimes when you purposefully go the wrong way, the lines change and you get different lines, you get meta jokes, you get Rukata talking by herself, etc. So it's always important to always check. One is doing the cartoon run, just like in the game. It's pretty funny, pretty cute. And also, as you walk around the base, you can hear lines from the other characters sometimes, and sometimes you can talk with other characters. Sometimes you can hear lines from them, so it's important. And she's like, I can feel something inside. Like she's acting like as if she's awakening her persona. So she's Kojyu. She's like basically Card Captor Sakura. Basically, she's Card Captor Sakura, but with ghosts. And this is Sumomo. She's one of the assassin sisters with her big sister Ichigo. Together, they used to be assassins, and then they joined the Seraphim squad to fight for humanity. They used to be hit women, basically. So that's why she's carrying a gun. You can see she always has a gun on her, even if it's not usable on cancers, because only Seraphim works. She always has a gun on her. She's acting like a yandere as well. So she's a cafeteria, but I'm going to keep going this way to see if there's any other character we can hear the lines from.
怪盗団にカフェテリア。
So no one. So okay, so we're going to go to the cafeteria and eat all together. I should take a break before I keep recording. Well, you won't see it anyway in the video.
綺麗なところですね。
Okay, so we are at the cafeteria now. And she's like, wow, it just looks so nice.
来る途中にも思ったけれど、軍の基地ってよりはまるで学校みたいね。
So I've been thinking about this while we were walking around, but this looks more like a school than a military base.
あちこちからうまそうな匂いがしてくるぜ。これだけあるなら、もしや寿司も。
And there's a lot of tasty stuff I'm smelling. Maybe you even have sushi?
もちろんあるぜ。
Of course we do.
じゃあ我が輩それで。
すごく高そうだけど、お金はどうすればいいの？
This looks very expensive though. How are we going to pay this?
司令官のツケだから安心して。
Yeah, そういうそうじゃないんだでしょ。Yeah, usually in the base they have a special currency called GP. That's what they're using. She's like, the commander is going to pay anyway, so it's fine.
その言い方は安心できませんよ。気づかっちゃいますよ。
Wait, you're not like, are you sure about that? Like,
ご飯を食べるのも任務だよ。
well, I mean, eating together is also part of a mission.
しっかり食べてしっかり働く。それがセラフ部隊のモットーだからさ。
And our motto is eat well, work well.
そうなの？全然知らなかった。
Wow, really? I never heard about this before.
茅森さんは適当なこと言ってますが、本当に気にせず食べてください。報酬の前払いとでも思っていただければ。
So, Kayamori is saying some crazy stuff, but yeah, you can eat without worrying about paying, and you can think of it as advance pay for the work you're going to do for us.
わかった。ありがとう。
そういうことなら、お言葉に甘えさせてもらうわね。
しっかり食べて、しっかり働きますね。
あ、こういうの好きだね、Violet. Like, I haven't finished WRIGHT yet, but I know that she likes eating a lot. So, this kind of thing, she's definitely fine with, like, eating as much as you can.
すごく美味しそう。いただきます。
あのね、バイオレット。しっかり食べてとは言ったけど、大食い大会には出なくていいんだよ。
So, I told you it's fine to eat what you want, but like, it's not an eating contest, you know?
鶏ささみの梅しそ巻き、タラとカレーのホイル蒸し、豚ヒレ肉のソテー、漬けマグロの赤身丼、白身魚の煮付け。
Oh, she's eating fish and meat at the same time.
枝豆に豆腐
Oh,
ハ
it's
ン
not,
バーグ、
it's not
チ
over
ーズ
yet.
サラダ、塩麹鶏胸肉とブロッコリーの蒸し煮。
どれもヘルシーですね。
うんそういう量になったらもはやヘルシーじゃないんだけど。
量はヘルシーじゃねえけどな。
同じこと言った。
どうしたんですか皆さん。腹が減っては戦はできぬですよ。
Nah, she's like, why are you all looking at me like that? Like, you can't fight if you're hungry, right?
バイオレットさん、それ全部食べるんですか？
So, this is all for you?
もちろんです。ちゃんと高タンパク低脂質を意識してバランスも計算していますから。
Of course it is, and don't worry, I'm actually like calculating the nutriments and stuff.
私の中でバランスの意味が揺らいでいる。
Yeah, I'm not sure, like, if you have the same, if balanced diet means the same thing in my vocabulary and yours.
私も。
Yeah, I agree.
あのスレンダーな体のどこに入るのかしら。
なんか、 多分、ペルソナ5ロイヤルが、バイオレットが本当に仲間になったら、なんか、sorry, I was talking in Japanese in reflex. I still haven't finished Persona 5 Royal yet, but I assume once Kasumi actually joins, it's probably going to be a very similar scene with the other girls, if Anne especially. And to be honest, like, this jokes makes me laugh, but like, this is one thing, like, one of the few stereotypes I hate about Japanese pop culture is always the characters going on a diet, like, and all the, like, it's not necessarily fat shaming, but like, it's like how Japanese society is suddenly extremely messed up in terms of what is considered fat or not. Which is the same in South Korea as well. And it's reflected especially when you look at character designs of gacha games in Korean gacha games like Nige. Every single character has the exact same supermodel physique, and it's really annoying, it's really boring. And there's a few characters that slightly differ from this physique, just like Brady, and like people are so used of seeing boring character designs in gacha games that when they see a character like Brady, they just go like, wow, fat girl, well, when it's not like she's even particularly fat in the first place, to be honest. So it's kind of annoying. That's anyway, like, yeah, so Tsukasa is like, wow, you're so slim, like, where is it all going?
すみません。いくらしっかり食べなきゃと言っても、お金を払っていない身で頼みすぎでしたよね。
Oh, sorry, I guess. Even if you told me I can't eat anything, I guess I ordered too much, even thought I'm not paying, right?
いえ、そこは全く気にしていません。
No, I mean, that's not the problem here.
とりあえず食おうぜ。
Anyway, let's start eating. CG になるのかな? They probably made a CG for this.
ごちそうさまでした。とても美味しかったです。
Well, they haven't made a CG yet. But I wonder, I guess, they're going to sleep at the base and they're going to sleep in their Phantom Chiefs outfits as well. This means. Very interesting. So she's like, yeah, this was really good.
感触からの爽やかで可愛い笑顔。
Wow, such a dazzling smile after she's done with a meal.
お腹も出てないし、全く無理してなさそう。
And it doesn't seem like she forced herself, like her tummy is not even tummy-eyed.
これは難解な事件になりそうですね。
Like, this could be worth investigating.
さすがに大げさとも言えないかもしれないわね。
Yeah, I guess I can't see why you guys are so surprised.
うまかった。ごちそうさま。
マイペースかよ。
けど本当に美味しかったわ。
Yeah, everyone's praising the food.
日々戦うためだと思うからめったなことは言えないけど少し羨ましいくらい。
It's just like I can't be jealous because you guys are fighting, but like I'm almost jealous you get to eat that much good stuff.
私が作ったわけじゃないけど、そう言ってもらえるとこっちも嬉しくなるよ。
So it's not like I cooked this stuff myself, but hearing you say that makes me pretty happy about it.
任務もしっかり頑張らせていただきますね。
Okay, so now we're going to be able to do the mission.
そうね。世話になりっぱなしで帰るなんてさすがに申し訳ないわ。
Yeah, we don't want to feel in your debt.
仁義を重んじるのが我が輩たち心の怪盗団だからな。頼むぜお前ら。
Yeah, one of our rules as the Phantom Chiefs is like being righteous, so we definitely need to pay you guys back for all this.
受けた恩は必ず返そう。
かっこいいことを言われてしまったわね。
Oh, they're all saying pretty cool stuff.
これは私たちもかっこいいところを見せなくてはですね。
So we gotta show our cool side as well.
早くジョーカーたちが帰れるように頑張ろうぜ。
So we gotta do our best so you can go back to your world soon.
と、その前に基地の案内もしないとね。
Oh yeah, we were supposed to give you a tour of the base. That's so that funny. I forgot as well. We were supposed to give them a tour of the base. I've completely forgot as well. It's probably going to be a few CGs, right? Really looking forward to it. The gym. Ah, the Narbis. So these are like how do I say this? This is just like some special living forms that are on the base. Like they're just like slimes, and they are like kinda like the mascots of Heaven Bends Red as well. On the game's logo, etc. You can see them. They're called Narbis. They are just like slimes, and they just live on the base. Like they're mysterious life forms that are just like slimes, basically. Oh, Yoru-1. So, is there going to be a free time?
じゃーん、ここがあたしら with 美少女怪盗のアジトだよ。
Oh, so they brought them to their room, and they're probably going to talk now, where Joker and Morgana are going to sleep. Or going to come up now in the discussion. So they brought them to the 31A room. So she's like, hey, so now this is hangouts for us and the Phantom Thieves.
美少女怪盗
And the beautiful Phantom Thieves. Just like Haru would say.
何その反応。
Why are you acting like this? She's going to be like, this reminds me of someone.
美少女怪盗といえばノワール先輩、私少しだけですがお話を聞いています。
Oh, this is just like Noir Senpai, like I heard about the story a little.
え、美少女怪盗って本当にいるの？
Wait, is really a beautiful Phantom Chief?
その話はおしまい。本人のいないところで話すのは失礼よ。
Well, we shouldn't talk about this. It's kinda rude to talk about it when she's not here. That's true.
ここは司令部が臨時で用意してくれた空き部屋です。
Oh,
ありがた
okay.
く使わせていただきましょう。
Oh, so like I said before, they prepared a room for them, but I guess they're going to need to prepare 2 rooms because to one for the boys, one for the girls.
ジョーカー先輩はモナ先輩と一緒に別のお部屋に泊まっているんでしたよね。
Yeah, funny. So yeah, so Joker Senpai and Mona Senpai are together in another room.
当然よ。ここは美少女のアジトだもの。
Yeah, this is the room for the beautiful girls.
さらっと主語を大きくしましたね。
どう？セラフ基地も結構いいところだと思わない？
Oh yeah, the base is pretty cool, right?
はい、いろいろと案内していただいてありがとうございました。
Yeah, thanks for guiding us.
あんなに充実したトレーニングジムが併設されているなんて、体を絞るのに最適で羨ましいです。
I'm particularly jealous of you guys' gym. Like, you can train so many parts of your body. Like, it's really cool.
バイオレットさんってスタイルいいですよね。新体操をされているんですか？
So you have a really good figure, like really good figure and like style specifically for when you say style for women, specifically figure like sexy etc. So it's like you have a really good figure. Do you do gymnastics or something?
はい、実は。で、なんで知っているんですか？
Yeah, but wait, how do you know?
基地を歩いている最中に特徴的なステップを踏んだ時がありましたから。
Because when we were showing you around the base, you were walking in a specific way. This is just like steps in gymnastics.
そんなところから名探偵ってすごいですね。
Wow, so you're a really great detective after all. Well, like anybody could have noticed though, so it's not that impressive.
ねえ、グイーンもバイオレットもパジャマに着替えない？
So don't you guys going to change into pajamas.
あなたたちのも司令部に用意してもらったの。
So the commanders has prepared some for you guys as well.
それがこの世界だとできないみたいなの。普段なら着替えられるはずなんだけど。
Well, it looks like we can't in this world. Usually we can change clothes too. So yeah, usually in Persona 5 Royal, I guess that's how they explain it. Use the DLC costumes and the other costumes you can change into in the palaces. But here it seems like they can't change clothes. So we'll have to sleep like that. Going to be pretty difficult for Makoto sadly.
まるで怪盗服そのものが着替えを拒んでいるような感覚がするんです。
I had to check the kanji just to be sure. She's saying like it's as if our Phantom Thieves outfits are rejecting us removing them, so we can't change clothes.
その服って生きてるの？
そうじゃないけど、敵に警戒されている場所だとこの格好になるのよ。
And Tsukasa is like, wait, you guys are always wearing this forever? And Makoto is like, no, it's just like in places where we detect danger and enemies, we automatically transform into these outfits.
ここにシャドウキャンサーがいるってこと？
So does this mean that there's enemies here?
それは大丈夫だと思います。もしいたらモナ先輩が気づくはずですから。
No, I think it's fine. If there were some shadow cancers here, Mona would be able to notice them.
順を追って説明するわ。
So I guess I will explain properly.
私たちが普段探索している方のメメントスについてなんだけど。
So it is about the mementos we know and that we usually explore.
そこは現実ではなく、多くの人たちの集合的無意識によって生まれた異世界で、そこにはシャドウもいるの。
So the mementos is like a parallel world that was born from the unconscious collectiveness of people. There are shadows over there.
異世界でシャドウとかに警戒されたとき、私たちの心を守る鎧として怪盗服が現れるとでも言えばいいかしら。
And when we detect shadows, or when shadows are near, in order to protect our souls, we automatically transform into our Phantom Thieves outfits, which are like armors for our souls. That's how we can explain it, basically, for our hearts.
ここは別の世界とはいえ、私たちからすれば異世界でシャドウキャンサーに警戒もされています。なので怪盗服が脱げないのかもしれません。
And here is another world, and so we are still being perceived by the shadow cancers. So maybe the logic is that's why we can't remove our Phantom Thieves outfits.
なるほど、そういうことでしたか。
Oh, is that so?
怪盗団にとってここは異世界。
全く同じことを振り返る。
私たちにとっては紛れもない現実。つまり
She's just repeating the same thing, but she's going to act like if she did something, but she's just going to repeat the same thing.
コラボによる着替えバグってことか。
Yeah, Rika is like, this is like a bug because of the collab. Like, it's a Kigae bug. It's like a bug that forces you to change clothes.
もっとかっこよく締めるつもりだったのに。
Well, why did you say it before me? I wanted to say it in a really cool way.
きっとまだ次がありますよ。切り替えていきましょう。
It's fine, you'll probably have other occasions to act cool with your reasonings and your deductions.
パジャマパーティーしたかった。
I wanted to do a pajama party together.
私も脱げるものなら脱ぎたかったわ。
Well, if I could change, I wish I would have changed as well. Because, the spikes and stuff.
この服、肩にトゲがついてて、 寝返りを打った時にシーツに穴を開けてしまったら申し訳ないし。
Like, because of the spikes, like, if I sleep and I end up piercing the mattress or something, I feel really bad about it.
大丈夫大丈夫。クイーンが悪いわけじゃないんだしさ。
It's fine, it's not like you're doing it on purpose.
ある意味貴重な体験だと思って前向きに捉えましょう。
I guess we can think of this as like a cool experience and just roll along with it.
そうよね。今後もこの格好で寝なきゃいけないことだってあるかもしれないし。
Yeah, and I guess it's possible that when we go back to our world, one day there will be a time where we'll be forced to sleep in our outfits, so it could be a good way to train for that.
そうですね。ないとは言い切れません。
Yeah, I guess this isn't impossible. Maybe that could happen one day.
ねえ、パジャマパーティーの代わりにみんなで UNO やらない？
Wanna play Uno together?
明日から一緒に任務だし、交流と息抜きも大事ってことで。
It would be a good way to get to know each other because, yeah, we need to be able to know each other before the mission.
それいいわね。
お気遣いありがとうございます。ですが、やるからには手は抜きませんよ。
Okay, sure, but be careful because I'm not going to hold back.
構いません。私も名探偵の駆け引きを見せてあげます。
Yeah, I don't mind. I'll show you what a great detective can do at Uno.
楽しむのはいいけど、あんまり遅くならない程度にしましょう。
やっぱ誠は姉さんっぽいよね。But she's like, yeah, we can have fun, but we shouldn't stay up too late. はい、子供。Yeah, Yuki is only when Yuki is here, she always criticize Tsukasa when she acts like a dumb kid like this. はい、子供。So yeah, these four
私あと1枚で終わり。
are going to sleep together in the same room, and Joker and Morgana are together in another room. These five, I mean, Rika, Aileen, Tsukasa, and Makoto, and Violet.
まだ勝負はついていません。
So they're playing Uno. It's going to be a CG, I assume.
リバースです。スキップします。
CG になってる、いいね。Uno. I think it's the first time in my life I see a collab in a game, a crossover in a game, and the crossover characters are playing Uno together with the characters. This is the kind of thing you will only see in Heaven Burns Red.
順番飛ばされた。
Oh, I got my turn skipped.
ごめんなさい。出せるのはこれだけね。
Sorry, I can only use this card.
うわ、よかった、持ってた。
Oh, nice. I have something I can put on.
私も持ってます。名探偵ですから。
I've got something I can put on as well. I'm a great detective after all.
奥の手は取っておくものですよね。
あれ？これって。
茅森さんの番ですよ。
じゃあこれで。
それは出せないわよ。
Oh, you can't use this card.
ドローフォー以外は無理ね。
おとなしく山札から16枚引いてください。
She was one card away from getting out, but now she's drawing 10 cards. おもろいね、これ。It's very funny, like... I'm pretty sure there's never been, at least at the very least, I never played one myself like this. A collab where the characters play Uno. So we're going back to sleep, so we're going back to the Velvet Room, I guess. With Tana and...
またここ？やっと上がれそうだったのに。
Wait, I'm back here? I thought I could get out. And by the way, the desk here is just like the desk of the Commander Saki. But it's
また
Tama.
お会いしましたね、ルカさん。
So we meet again.
やはりあなたは最悪と相まみえる運命にあるようですね。
So it seems after all that a calamity is about to reach you.
ドローフォーはもう嫌だ。
We are not talking about, you know.
そ そんなのよりもっと大きな最悪ですよ。
It's a worse, way worse calamity than losing at And Tama is using a normal voice. Rika is probably going to react to that. We're not playing.
ですが、そう悲観することはありません。あなたと開口した仮面の少年。かの者が持つ力が最悪を打ち破る鍵となるでしょう。
But it's not decided yet, and the boy with the mask you just met, he will be the key to preventing the calamity that is about to befall you.
仮面の少年ってジョーカーのこと？
You're talking about Joker?
時間だにゃ、下がるにゃ囚人。
It's time, so go back to bed.
変なスモモが喋った。
The weird Sumomo, she's talking.
それではまた、いずれお会いしましょう。
We will meet again. So that's the end of day 1, I guess. So this will be the end of this video as well, and I will keep going inshallah for the future days in next videos. I still have 48 hours or so to clear this because the collab ends Thursday on June 19th and we are June 17th, 2 AM right now. I'm going to sleep. So yeah, this is extremely funny. Probably going to share my impressions in detail in an article. You'll be able to see it in the description on my site. And yeah, we cleared day 1, so we're getting Mona for free, but the other characters are in the gacha and Joker is not playable. Oh, it's not over yet.
我が輩はモナだ。先に言っておくが、猫じゃねえからな。
Oh, it's the introduction. When you get a new character, you get an introduction. So, my name is Mona, and I'm saying this just in case, but I'm not a cat.
こいつは取引だ。遠慮はいらねえ。存分に我が輩の力を使ってくれて構わないぜ。
So, the deal is sealed, so no need to hold back, and you can use my power as much as you want. Mona が仲間になった。So yeah, day 2 will be in the next video. 次の動画で day 2でもやります。So yeah, like this is extremely funny so far. Like the scene at the end especially was very surprising. Like I said, like I'm saying this was for like the 4th time now, but I'm pretty sure this might be maybe the first time in the world in a collab that they make the players they make the characters play, so this is extremely funny. So before I end the video, I might as well show you the banners as well. Might as well show you the banners. I didn't show them in the intro, so I can show them now before I stop this recording. And if you look at the banners, so Joker is not playable. Joker is not playable, but there's 2 banners. The first banner was started when the collab started in late May, and it's Tsukasachi. It's Makoto and Tsukasachi, but cosplaying as Panza as Anne. So I did 50 pulls and I didn't get either of them, so I'm waiting to see the next banner. If it's someone I want, maybe I will skip, or maybe I will go until the PT, which is 200. I have enough to go to the PT, so Makoto is one of my favorite characters, so I definitely would like to get Makoto. And Tsukasa, I already have a very similar character regarding what she does, so I don't really need her that much, but if I got her, it would be nice as well. So yeah, you have Makoto, and you have Tsukasa cosplaying as Anne, as Panza. Really cool animations, right? Really cool animation. And with the Tekken Seisai, with the all-out attack cutscene at the end. And they made a cutscene for the Revelman's character as well. So this was the first banner that started with the collab. And then 2 weeks into the collab, they did the second banner, which is Violet and Ruka cosplaying as Joker. And this one is pretty good for beginners. But for a veteran player like me, I don't really need her skills that much. Same with Ruka. And she's darkness, and I already have a really good darkness Ruka, so I'm not going to pull on this banner. I only did 20 pulls. I didn't get anything sadly. Really cool, right? Really かっこいいね、めっちゃ Ruka looks really incredible with the Joker cosplay. And if you look, she has an earring. She has a mask earring. It's themed around Arsene and Joker's mask, because the seraph that Tsukasa is using here, it's based on Carmen, on Anne's persona, right? That's why it looks like this. It's based on Carmen. And the blades Ruka is using, you can barely see them. They're based on Arsene. If you look, they're red. The design is based on Arsene. So yeah, and she has an Arsene earring as well. But yeah, if you look at the skills, like I'm not going to explain them because you won't understand if you're not familiar with the game anyway. But the skills, they are really, really good. But like as a veteran player, I already have a similar character, so I don't particularly want it. And the only thing really good with the persona characters is how they have a one more to replicate the persona battle system. When they hit a character, an enemy with its weakness, they automatically get a bonus turn. And bonus turns are very good in Heaven Madrid, which is why the persona characters are pretty good. And they can launch an all-out attack as well with Joker when all the enemies are down. They have a special ability to launch an all-out attack to deal some extra damage. And it's really, really strong. 7 hits and 43,000 is extremely strong. So yeah, I think maybe I will go to the PT to get Makoto at least. I need 200 pulls. I only got 50 for now. Maybe I will do the PD to get Makoto because these are time limited. Once the banner ends, you won't be on the collab ends. You won't be able to get them ever again unless they do a new collab. Meanwhile, the other characters, once they release, they're always in the common pool. So I will always have a chance to get them if I'm one day. So yeah, that's everything I think. Yeah, so yeah, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. I'm going to try and keep translating the collab. Remember to like and subscribe and check out the site. You can support me by leaving some comments, by sharing the video and the articles on the site with your home fees. So yeah, thanks for watching, bye. 見ててくれてありがとうのじゃあな、バイバイ。